Hello, good morning, good afternoon, welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Eugene Holubnyak. Eugene is the director of the Hydrogen Energy Research Center at the University of Wyoming in the US and is involved in the Western States Hydrogen Hub and working a lot across the broad area of hydrogen. So welcome, Eugene. Thank you for joining me.
Definitely, thank you for the opportunity. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you're going to be speaking at our forthcoming World Electrolysis Congress, which is taking place in Boston, I think 4th to the 6th of September. So not sure now, not long now, and looking very obviously at the electrolysis part to hydrogen. I mean, in terms of your work there in Wyoming and specifically, obviously Wyoming is a windy place, a lot of energy. What are your some of the initial thoughts around hydrogen and some of the, I guess, challenges that it faces?
Well, first of all, Wyoming is definitely a windy place, and of course we do have super wind resource, and would like to use it to the maximum. But obviously there are challenges with wind. But by and large, we're looking at hydrogen ecosystem as a whole, and we are agnostic to technology. So we're working with natural gas. We also would like to work with nuclear, and are working with nuclear because there's TerraPower and new development on that. But specific to wind, we have a lot of deployment of wind farms around us and in the state of Wyoming. And one of the main challenges that the wind developers are facing is transmission lines and getting the electrons out of Wyoming. One of our focuses at the moment is we're trying to understand how to better use hydrogen as a potential feedstock for maybe other fuels, things like sustainable aviation fuels and maybe methanol or ammonia, to take the wind in forms of molecules, not in forms of electrons, out of the state of Wyoming. Again, Wyoming has a long history of energy experts, and we have a very well developed infrastructure to get things out of Wyoming. And historically, it has been coal. We were one of the top coal producers in the United States and in the world for that. But we also have oil and natural gas as exports, and as coal specifically there's a hint that coal might not be moving forward as quickly as it moves today. And actually, just last year we hit a record of exporting coal from the state. But again, moving into the future, we would like to diversify and bring additional energy products on the market originating from the state of Wyoming.
Okay, excellent. And in terms of, I mean, I know we were discussing before around some of the constraints to hydrogen, which you see, and pretty concerned, I guess, around the water usage, which we see coming up for obviously electrolysis. What are some of your thoughts around the water?
Certainly, water is a huge concern, and it should be a concern everywhere, but it is very specific to Wyoming, that we are a semi-arid environment where water is sort of scarce and has additional value. So we understand how to preserve the resource, and we understand that moving forward, we need to be very cautious about how to do it. One of the big concerns that we see is that developers are not including water resource as in their model approximations or the economic models moving forward, and we encourage them to do so. And one of the main reasons to do so is that it might not take additional resource in terms of money or in terms of being a challenge to invest in this ecosystem, but time investment and workforce investment in this is going to be significant. And one of them is going to be disposal systems for the water that developers will be treating, to be up to standard for their electrolysis systems. So again, one of the main things that we are encouraged developers to look at is exactly how how to use water, what are some of the bottlenecks in the production, and one of them would be regulatory side, where you need to deploy your disposal wells to dispose of large quantities of treated water underground. And for that, it's a USC class, most likely USC class 1 water injection wells that might take up to 2 years actually to permit in some cases, and depending on where you are in the state. And again, we encourage people to look at this ahead of time.
Yeah. And you mentioned there, I think, in passing, workforce as well, and obviously involved in the university and bringing in the next generation. What are your thoughts around the workforce and the skills that people are going to need?
Certainly, workforce is another challenge, and especially if we deploy this at scale, meaning hydrogen ecosystem deployed at scale will require a lot of additional certified people to work on. And of course, the focus is oftentimes is on the bachelor degrees and higher educated workforce. And it is warranted. Definitely, we need more engineers and scientists to work on those systems. There's no doubt about it. At the same time, we also need people who can actually support the ecosystem on the ground, and we also need to certify them. We need to familiarize them with hydrogen-specific sort of tips and tricks on how to work those systems. And so it's a 2-year college degree and on will be required to move forward. And also workforce retention and building an ecosystem for this workforce, and also the concerns about surviving sort of boom and busts type of environment will be needed, because again, if there's not enough retention, if there's not enough sort of retained knowledge within an ecosystem, we're going to have continuous problems with a very sensitive and also dependent on the highest skilled labor environment. So it is a big concern moving forward.
Yeah, I can see that. Certainly, getting those sort of technical skills is going to be a big ask, but certainly hopefully your center can also sort of provide that level of education too. So it's been fascinating to talk to you, Eugene. Many thanks for sharing your thoughts. We look forward to seeing you at World Electrolysis Congress. As I mentioned before, it will be taking place in Boston, 4th to the 6th of September. So many thanks, and we look forward to meeting you there.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much, Nadim.
Cheers. Many thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.